on the ticket of the MPP, also a member of the Health Committee of Parliament, the Honourable Alexander Akwesi Akwa, to help us delve into this matter a bit more. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. What indications do you have? Do you have indications that the doctors may call off the strike anytime soon, given the statement from the minister?
Well, good evening to you and your listeners. What we have done as members of the minority on the health committee is to appeal to the doctors to exercise some restraint. If the minister erred, we do not expect them to punish the poor patients. And we have said to them that two wrongs do not make right. And then if two elephants are fighting, it is the grass that suffers. And so they should temper justice with mercy, mercy with justice, and then get back to work and see to the patients for us.
All right. So, but the minister has spoken, and I mean the tone of his speech this afternoon suggested that he was extending an olive branch to the doctors. Shouldn't that suffice? The doctors called for an apology from the minister. I'm not quite sure exactly why they wanted the apology, but the minister has spoken, and he is spoken in terms that people have described as quite conciliatory. Shouldn't that end the matter?
Well, I have not listened to him, but I've read from the social media depicting that he is alluding to the fact that respect is reciprocal. That perhaps could be enough. But you see, these doctors have had their egos so bruised. They have had their egos so injured. And I have said this. I started saying these things when the Honorable Akando went to the Ridge Hospital, that you do not handle health sector workers with this kind of attitude. Because, you see, we like I said in the news item, we were in opposition are supposed to be doing that, like he was doing. But we have learned our lessons. We know what is in government. We know what the people are going through. So the best we can do is to handle them with some form of tact and get them to provide the services they are providing to our people in the midst of the kind of difficulties that we experience. The Honorable Akando was touting a lot of solutions to our health issues when he was in opposition. And so one would have thought that after spending about 3 months in government, it would have been easier for him to have solved all the issues if it was that easy. He's been a member of the ranking committee, ranking member of the health committee for the past 8 years. He knows everything about Tamale, and so he didn't have to take such a passionate appearance in the Tamale hospital to solve the issues. I think that it was overbearing. It was an overreach. It was high-handed, but we just have to continue appealing to the doctors to calm down so that at least they do not injure or harm our patients the more.
But I mean, I'm not sure who should be apologizing to who, and indulge me. A patient has died. Somebody has died in the hands of medical officers or at a facility. Caused an uproar. The matter has caused an uproar. People say it was negligence. We do not know. The matter is still being investigated. And if a minister who is a duty bearer appears at the scene, the approach may not necessarily be the best, but a few things happened. Who should be apologizing? Who should be going on? I mean, should the doctors be going on strike because of this? Somebody has died.
If we're going on that tangent, then one would have suggested, or one would suggest, that the minister should go around all facilities and ask the number of people who died in every facility and why they died. If he can do that. In health practice, there is always a meeting when there are mortalities, and it is done occasionally, on a regular basis. It could be every week, it could be every month. Why do they do that? When you go to a hospital, when you send a relative or a sick person to the hospital, you have two things happening. It's either the person is going to be treated well and go back home, or perhaps it will be above the medical people. If they have to refer, they could refer. If something they cannot handle, and the person passes on, that's it. But because we always have to find out why such death occurs, why such mortalities occur, that is why we have mortality meetings. So there's a committee, and they do that very, very, very dispassionately, because you need to understand the issues that would have led to the death of a patient. But the way he went to do it, in the full glare of the camera, in the full glare of the media, asking the doctor who perhaps had tried and had done everything to save the life of the patient. And this is a doctor that everybody can attest to, that has been a very, very good doctor. He's been a very wonderful medical personnel, And so at the end of the day, after all he tried, if we politicians haven't been able to provide what it will take for him to give the best of care to the patient, and all he gets is to have such an embarrassment, you understand. Doctors will not take it. Doctors are a crop that you need to definitely manage them in their performance. We all end up one day on the table of the doctor. And so I think that we are politicians, and the minister is a politician. The same way he's been so passionate about saving lives and saving our healthcare institutions, I expect him to just render an apology, tell them, guys, I'm sorry, I was consumed by the passion, blah, 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 but forgive me, I think that I'll do it better. Next time, let's get back to work and let's do it better. That's it. And I'm sure they would know that, yes, the minister appreciates their concerns. Now they have asked the minister to provide them with all the things that they need to make their work comfortable. I have said somewhere that gradually, the work to rule attitude is creeping into our health sector. It is creeping into our health sector. And if it takes so much root in our system, we are dead. Because the health professional can definitely explain why a patient died. If you give the health professional the opportunity to explain, he can give you reasons why the patient died. Yes, you can set up committees here and there, but at the end of the day, in our system where we know that we lack a lot of the equipment, a lot of the things that will make our services appreciable, it could easily allude some of this inefficiency to the lack of equipment that is supposed to make their work comfortable.
But the point is, and sorry I'm pushing this, the point is, what did the minister do? Of course, and this is what Alasan Suini, who was part of the team and also one of the persons called upon by the doctors to apologize, said. He said, exactly what are we apologizing for? And I read some quotes from him. He said, we haven't chastised him after that. He hasn't been disciplined because I do not think that argument amounts to indiscipline. I mean, referring to the exchange that ensued between the minister and the said doctor at the emergency unit.
My brother, you see, we have said that what happened there was uncalled for. The minister didn't have to do that. Honorable Suhini didn't have to get the minister into that. I am tempted to believe the person who died may be a high-profile personality, and that is why perhaps they called the MP, and the MP would have to call his colleague minister to come down to let them know that they think about them, they care about them. But I am telling you, what happened there is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. And the GMA and the medical doctors in Tamale, we are only appealing to them. But they should not push it. I think that, like I said, we are politicians. The politician can go to every extent to ensure that there is peace. If they are demanding that, look, you haven't treated us well. You know our situation. Honorable Suhini, how long has he been an MP for that area?
No, but he's not the MP for the area, though. I mean, he's not the MP for the area. Yes. No, but he was there. But yes. He's not the MP. Yes, certainly.
But I'm sure his constituents use Tamale government, Tamale Teaching Hospital. So he would definitely know the issues. I'm not the MP of Koforidua, but as a minority health committee member, we are touring some facilities today we were in Koforidua, and I had to appreciate them and let them know they are doing a very good work, because my constituents are often referred there, and they give them better treatment. And so I think that he knows exactly what happened. You know, when he was talking, he was caught on tape. That if you are talking to us as ministers like this, how about talking to a commoner? Really? Now you have an NDC member of parliament calling certain people commoners, doing classifications of people? Whoa, is that what we have gotten to? I thought the NDC is for commoners. Now you want to describe certain people as commoners. I think that if the doctors are calling for an apology, it sits in its right place. They should just do the honorable thing, and that's it. Let's move on.
Very well. Thank you so much, the Honorable Akwesi Akwa himself, a health sector person.